Hi everyone and welcome to this Minute Monday, which might be the first of my Minute Mondays to last like a minute because I bit my lip so hard last week I can barely talk, so bear with me, we're kind of doing an improvised one today. So last week Paul Davis put up an amazing video of 10 pretty high profile YouTubers playing over one track and analysing all the different takes on it, which was incredible. And then Jack Gardner put up a video of 3 different levels of how to solo over it. So before you get into this, I recommend checking out both of those videos. They're both incredibly entertaining, but also both incredibly insightful for all the reasons that you would expect. In this video, I'm going to talk you through some of the more obscure or lesser known scale choices that there are for the non-diatonic chords, and I'll explain the harmonic reasons behind them. There are going to be some advanced terms. I don't expect everyone to get this first time. You might have to rewind, you might have to Google some things, but everything is Googleable. I'm going to use all the agreed upon terminology, and I highly recommend you watch Jack's and Paul's videos first so that you can come to this with the base level of understanding for the chord progression. So we're going to zone in on 4 specific bars of the chord progression, specifically bars 9 through 12, which goes C major, the 1 chord, to E7, the dominant 3 chord, to F major, the 4 chord, and then F minor, the minor 4 chord. So we're specifically going to tackle the non-diatonic chords in the progression. In this progression, that is the E7 and the F minor. So the E7 typically will resolve to some form of A minor, A major, A7, depending on the song or the context. In this, it resolves up by a half step to F major. And that might throw a few people off. You might start to see it as a non-functioning dominant, but in reality, it is. So all your functional dominant language, all your resolutions that you might have played to resolve you to A minor, still work in this instance because F major or F major 7 could be perceived as A minor over F. If you look at the upper 3 notes of an F major 7 chord, A, C, and E, that's the lower 3 notes of an A minor chord or an A minor 7 chord. So in reality, that E7 does resolve its voices in the exact same way. There's not much surprising about the resolution and how the tritone dissipates its tension, but all that happens is the bass, instead of going to an A, will go to an F. So this means all your functioning dominant language is good, all your altered lines, all your like Phrygian dominant lines. But for me, in this instance, I choose to play a scale called the super Phrygian scale. This is the 3rd mode of the harmonic major scale, and it gives us the notes 1, flat 9, sharp 9, 3rd, 5, flat 6, flat 7. So this is like a Phrygian scale, but with a flattened 4th that comes down to become your 3rd. And that's where the name super is derived from, like super Locrian scale. There's a Locrian scale where the 4th comes down to be the major 3rd. So I like to play the E super Phrygian scale, which is the 3rd mode of harmonic major, which kind of mitigates and softens the pull that we have to A minor and keeps us more in the major side. Just by adding in that G to the G sharp, it stops that G sharp pulling us towards the A. So my scale choice for the E7 is E super Phrygian. And as a general rule, whenever you have a harmonic minor scale, whenever you're using that over a chord, you can substitute that harmonic minor scale for its relative harmonic major. The only other non-diatonic chord is that F minor chord. Now lots of people see this as a borrowed chord from C minor, but that's not really set in stone. If you listen to the guys' recordings and the 10 different takes, you can hear some people play that E natural over it, making it an F minor major 7. And some people play an E flat, which comes from C minor, making it just a typical minor 7. It all comes down to how you want to hear it. But I'll tell you what I don't like to hear is I don't like to hear the natural 11th on it. I don't like to hear that B flat over the F, because that really pulls me away from even wanting to resolve to C. This makes me feel like I want to go down to a B flat 7 and then to the key of E flat major. So really, when I see this minor 4 chord, the 2 scale choices that I like to play are what's called the Lydian diminished scale. Some people call this Lydian minor. This is a 1, 2, flat 3, sharp 11, 5, 6, 7. So this is like a Lydian scale with a flat 3rd. That's for those of you that like to hear that major 7 over it. Or you can play the Lydian flat 3, flat 7 scale, which is the 4th mode of the harmonic minor scale, which goes 1, 2, flat 3, sharp 11, 5, 6, flat 7. So I call this Lid Dorian. It's like a Dorian scale with a sharp 11. Some people call it Dorian sharp 11. So my 2 scale choices for the minor 4 chord, depending on whether you want to have the minor major 7 or the minor 7, is going to be either Lydian flat 3 or Lydian flat 3 flat 7. Lydian flat 3 coming from harmonic major, fourth mode of harmonic major, Lydian flat 3 flat 7 coming from fourth mode of harmonic minor. And again, the reason why I like to have that Lydian sound even over the 4 minor chord is to retain that leading note, to keep my tritones intact, so that I've got that relationship of the F to the B that wants to resolve out back to that home key. Again, context is king when picking chord scales. So I hope that gives you some insight and some new sounds to experiment with. Let me know in the comments if you know any of these scales and which ones you like the most over that minor 4 chord. If you like the Lydian flat 3 or the Lydian flat 3 flat 7. And yeah, see you guys next Monday. If you have any questions about what I talk about in this video, please put them in the comments. I will answer every single one. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe.